In Better Travel today, if you're starting to think about your next vacation destination, our next guest suggests a visit to Paris.
I actually consider getting married there. I recently spoke with Mark Tavender of Expedia about the City of Lights.
Well, do you know, when I hear the word Paris, it's so often in the same sentence as the word special, or in particular, I think magical. And there are so many things. We could be here all day whilst I reeled off a list of things that make this city so amazing. But there's the food, of course, and the wine, and the architecture, and if you're into it, there's the art as well. But Paris, to me, has something that is magical that you can't touch. And as I was walking down the Champs-Élysées last night on my way to dinner, it's the buzz of this city that really, really makes it special, and it's the reason that I love coming here, and it's probably the reason that you want to get married here.
Yeah, exactly. Can you tell us some of the must-see sites? You know, I know the Eiffel Tower, obviously, the Louvre, but are there some sites off the beaten path that we should be checking out?
There are some sites off of the beaten path, and the thing about Paris is that there is so much to see and do, and sometimes you can even see and do the same things but from a different perspective. A canal tour is a great way of seeing this city just from a different level. There is, though, I think, a culture of trying to avoid some of the more obvious landmarks, and perhaps a fashion for seeking out those slightly cooler, if you like, off the beaten track items. This, though, to me is a city where you have to see the big landmarks. I remember coming here as a schoolboy, and you mentioned the Eiffel Tower. I remember standing underneath that and looking up and being just amazed at its size. And of course, when you get to the top, the view of this expansive city is amazing. Something a little bit different, somewhere that not everybody goes, though, is the Sacré-Cœur, and there's always new things in town.
If I don't speak French, is that going to be a disadvantage for me?
Absolutely not. And I have a few top tips for getting around whilst you're here as well. The first thing I do when I arrive in Paris is I make my way down to the metro. Not only is it another Paris tourist attraction in its own right, you cannot come to this city and not ride the metro, but I pick myself up a book of 10 tickets. They're about 15 euros, so it makes it a super cheap and easy way to get around, and that lasts me a few days whilst I'm here. My other tip, though, is walk, especially on a day like today.
Yeah.
Every street has a corner that you turn and there's something else to look at. And if you walk, you also come across those lovely little cafes and those lovely little restaurants that you wouldn't come across if you took a cab, which probably answers your question as to how to find those slightly more off the beaten track pieces of Paris.
Is there an opportunity to, I don't want to say rent a local, but you can hire a local person that can show you some of the behind the scenes of Paris? You know, are there those tour groups and opportunities like that?
There's definitely things like that to find here. I have the luxury of being here with one of my local colleagues, so I got a similar feel for that last night. But my top tip here is to book these experiences when you arrive. One of the ways that you can do that actually is you can book them on the Expedia app. So you don't need to find these things before you arrive in the city and really have a feel for what it is that you want to do. You can arrive, get a feel for the city. One of the ways I do that is to jump on a hop-on, hop-off bus tour. Once you've got your bearings in the city, it becomes very easy then to work out what you want to do, and then you just download the app and book the experience whilst you're here in this amazing city.
Is there a particular time of year that we should be coming there that's a little bit more beautiful than another time? I know Paris is great, 365, but should I come in the fall? Should I be there in the winter?
Well, one of the things about coming in the fall is that it means that the traditional tourist season has dropped off a little bit, so you avoid perhaps some of those queues at the museums. But I think Paris, as you rightly say, is one of those cities that you can come to any time, and it has something for everyone at any time of the year. It's just about to become really Christmassy. You know, the lights that adorn the Eiffel Tower make this city feel really, really special at Christmas time.
And if I'm on a budget, Mark, is that going to be a problem for me?
It's not. At Expedia, we are in the business of helping people go places, and one of the ways that we do that is with a program called Add-on Advantage. What it allows you to do is book a flight and a hotel and save 40%, but you don't have to book those two things together. You can book the flight, and then you have right up until the day that you travel to book the hotel. So it means you get to spread the cost a little bit and still save that 40%. And then I would definitely recommend downloading the Expedia app and booking those experiences whilst you're here.
Okay, well, thank you, Mark, for your time. Hopefully, maybe we can meet in person on my next trip to Paris.
I'd love that. perhaps at your wedding.
Exactly. Thank you. All right. Why not start making your plans now to visit the City of Lights or some other fun spot? You can go to Expedia.com for deals and ideas. Imagine getting married in Paris.
Oh my gosh, I'd do it all over again just for that. How beautiful.
All right, coming up tomorrow and better, students at a local elementary school show us why kindness rocks.
Yep, and you'll meet a young man who is gaining a worldwide reputation for being really good at a sport called disc golf.
And two actors who were key in last year's season finale of Grey's Anatomy are back together again on the big screen. We're talking to them tomorrow about their film, Indivisible.
Well, it's all tomorrow starting at 3. You can join Scott and Carol. We'll be back, of course, for an all-new show. How exciting is that?
I want to say thank you to everybody who turned out, about 250 strong, to Beth David Synagogue in West Hartford for their kosher chopped event. We had so much fun, and I want to congratulate Jonah and his mom. They were the winners, so a big congratulations to them. And Leah did a wonderful job. You got an event coming up. There's one taking place tonight.
Yeah. So Tippecanoe in Windsor for the Windsor Police Department, all to benefit Special Olympics Connecticut. And you can also check out online our Facebook and for
Where's
all kinds
the
of
Tippecanoe event? At the
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
In Windsor. So
and
that's going to be
November 7th. Talk about that event.
So November 7th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. we'll be at Big Y in Rocky Hill for our Hurricane Michael People and Pets Relief Drive.
Which is great. Thank you so much, Renee, for hosting with me
today.
Thank you.
I had fun.
We'll see you tomorrow for another new show of Better Connecticut. Carol will be back. We'll see you then.